everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest energy dynamics between two different soul contract numbers based on my experience. That is the caveat of giving readings, and the numbers that I see coming up as a pair all the time and how they interact together. And some of this is based on my experience from my own chart, and some of it is based on the readings I've given. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Antonia, and I deliver soul contract readings and emotional healing sessions to help you create a huge amount of self-awareness in your life. And the more self-awareness you have, the easier life really does become. So if you want to hang around, subscribe, otherwise we'll just dive straight on into it. So the first interaction is one that I have in my chart, and it is something I see coming up a lot, and it is the number 5 and the number 8. So if you have this pair of numbers, and maybe it's a 14-5 or a 5-5, it could be a 16-7, not a 16-7, a 17-8 or an 8-8. So if you've got any kind of dynamic between the 5s and the 8s, this one is for you. So the 5s are all about speaking the truth. It's really, really important that 5s learn to assert themselves and speak up for what they believe in. And 5s are really, really here to come out of the dreamy spaces of their mind and out of the mental chatter and come into the grounded reality of living on earth. Something that 5s can find really hard. They're very overactive up here. Now, because the truth is so important, they want to speak up, but the problem with a 5 sometimes can be is that speaking up feels really scary. So 5s can have a stutter. They can be really scared of public speaking. They can go the other way as well. But normally 5s are here to learn how to feel confident enough to speak up. Now the interaction happens with the 8s because the 5s want to speak the truth and the 8s want to keep the peace. So as someone who has karmic 5s and karmic 8s, this is an interaction I know a lot about. So the 8s are here to really feel themselves and feel their own energies. And again, they're all about grounding. They can be very mental and in their mind. They learn to feel and to come out of emotional numbness. But the problem is 8s are often very empathetic. So not only do they feel their stuff very deeply, they feel the stuff of everyone else around them, which makes them really empathetic in terms of, oh, they're feeling like that, I better keep quiet, or I better tread carefully, or I better go on tiptoes or eggshells. So the 5s want to speak up, the 8s want to keep the peace. Boom, there's the dynamic, and you often get stuck in a really sticky point where you're wanting to speak up, but you're not wanting to hurt people. And that is the 5 and 8 dynamic in play. The next dynamic is the 6s and the 9s. Now I don't have 6s, but I've given lots of readings and I see this pair coming up time and time again. So the 6 energy can be about releasing anger that's kind of buried in the body. The 6s are here to be incredibly creative. It's a beautifully expansive, creative number. But they can try and do too much, get a little bit scattered and overwhelmed, and really burn out their energy. Now, the anger that I talk about in the 6s can come from the disempowerment of the 9 energy. So the 9s are all about power. It's the serpent dragon energy. But when we have a 9 in our chart, especially when it's somewhere karmic, like the karma or the goals or the soul destiny, there may have been a disempowerment, and people with 9s are here to step back into their power and learn that it's safe to have power. But when that power has been taken away, normally in childhood, there can be feelings of anger. Now, anger is often, we think, directed at someone external, but often we hold the anger at ourselves for not being able to achieve the things we want to do, which 6s can get really frustrated and blocked around because they're here to create, but when that creativity gets blocked, anger. So that is the 6 and 9 energy interaction. The next one is 7 and 3s, and again, this is the one I have. So 7s, whether it's a 16-7, 7-7, a 12-3, a 21-3, or just a 3-3, the 7s and the 3s interact in this way. The 7s are here to come out of hiding. They are here to learn to feel safe, to be their true selves with everyone. But often they hide away because they have a little bit of a broken heart or a heart wound, and that normally makes them feel very scared to truly be themselves. Although ironically, 7s can wear a mask, so they might appear really confident and really charismatic, But as soon as they leave a party or an event, the mask drops and they're a bit tired. So the threes are really amazing communicators, or they can be really bad. It always swings between the two. And threes are really here to get into their feelings. But again, they like to slightly numb and hide how they really feel. So the dynamic between the sevens and the sixes is that the 17s are learning to show themselves as who they are, and the threes are learning to feel and to express and to communicate and to come out of hiding, quite literally. The 7 and 3 energy is a hiding energy. And if you have these numbers, you're here to come out of hiding and recognize the talents and the gifts within you to create catalytic energy in your life and the life of everyone you work with. Okay, second to last, the 13-4 and the 10-1. Now I see these two numbers coming up a lot because they are the male and female polarity. The 10-1 is a masculine energy, the 13-4 is a feminine energy. So often when we have these two numbers showing up in the chart, there may have been some kind of childhood thing around the dad and the mum. And the person is here to heal the masculine and feminine wounding within them. So the divine feminine, the 13-4, is all about learning to soften the heart, to heal the wound with the feminine within yourself and maybe with your mother or anything down the maternal line. And the 10-1 is about healing the wound with the masculine and healing the wound with the masculine within you, which is all about finding a balance between giving and receiving and learning to not be overly responsible for things and to slightly soften into more self-compassion, because the 10-1s can be very self-critical and the 13-4s again can be a little bit closed off. Not always. Again, every number is a caveat. Think of it like a seesaw. You have the positive aspects of the number and the negative aspects, and you can be really on one side or really on the other. It's so dependent on everyone's unique experience and their own chart and how the energies are flowing into their life and how you're working through them. So everything I say, take it with a pinch because it's so unique to you and what you're doing and how you're going through your life. But if you have the 13-4 and the 10-1, you are certainly here to come into that beautiful divine feminine and divine masculine energy in harmony and balance, and to release any wounding from the past to do with your dad, the paternal line, your mum, the maternal line. Okay, the last one is I'm mentioning the sixes again and the 11-2s, and to be honest I could do a hell of a lot more, but I'm trying to keep this video succinct. So the 11-2s and the sixes are the builders and the architects of the world, and I love seeing these energies in people's charts because it's a really ambitious energy. And actually if you have 4s in there as well, that's quite a business-minded energy as well. So the 11-2s we call the builders of the world because they are here to create structure and a system of core values within themselves and then outside of themselves, because remember, everything starts from within. And the sixes are here to create. It's creative energy from source coming through, channeling through you. You just have to keep opening up to it, because as soon as the mind gets in the way, it can get knotted and stuck. You can really see that in the symbol of the 6. So when you have 11-2s and 6s, this is a building energy. And I always think this is about building something wonderful in your life. It could be building a family dynamic. It could be building a business. It could be building a vision. It could be building a reality. In whatever way, level, shape or form that comes through to you, it's so different on each person. But it's really encouraging when I see these numbers. I'm like, oh, you're here to make something wonderful. And again, we always have a free will choice with our soul contract energies. We can engage with them and work through the challenges, or we can remain stuck in the negative karma and choose not to engage. And then we just have to come back another lifetime and experience those same energies. So you want to go work through them because life gets better. So that's a little summary of some of the key dynamics I see in soul contracts. Again, there could be so many more, but I'll be posting a few more videos soon. And until next time, subscribe, stay in touch, comment if this is your experience with these numbers, if you have these flowing in your life. I'd love to hear. It's always nice to get some subjective feedback. And until next time, I wish you a very beautiful rest of your day.